What's going on, everyone? Welcome to one of my first live streams. Trying to figure it out as we go, so sorry if I'm messing up on audio or something in the chat or just anything in general. So thanks for checking out this live stream. If you guys tune in, just today we're going to talk a little bit about Reef, kind of talk about projects in general and just everything that's going on around the office. So kind of hang out, see if anybody jumps in and see if anybody's going to join in on this little topic we're going over today. Just want to say happy Sunday, though, guys. So let's talk about a couple of the projects that are going on, the two that are behind me. One that I haven't actually talked about, the tank mate that's living in the UNS 5N. This is a macroalgae tank that I've had before, had set up, and then now it's reset up again. We have macroalgae in it, and then also we're having a purple lobster in it. It's a really cool, fun invert that I think you guys should check out and try. If you guys are looking for an invert that you can have alone in a tank, or even some people say that they're good for reef tanks in general too, but I just think they're a really fun invert to kind of hang out and play around with. You guys, I don't know if you're following me on Instagram at King Tide Corals, you guys can check it out. I do a couple of videos with him where I get to feed him and he kind of hangs out and goes after the food, and he's a really fun guy to have and kind of hang out with here in the office. So that's one tank that I've really been enjoying. I threw a couple mangrove sprouts in there. I don't know if you guys can see them. They're right there. There's two of them. I put them directly in salt water. Tyler, Inland Reef, really good guy, a really good friend of mine. He told me that when they're, the sproutlings, they're the babies, they do a lot better in salt water directly. You guys can see the mangroves in the back behind me are doing super good. Those are, as I've said many times before, they're hanging out in brackish water, so they're at 1.010. But yeah, so really been a fun project for me in general. I've really enjoyed having this Mangrove Bowl. It's been a new addition to the office, and it's something that I kind of just randomly came up with, and a lot of people have really enjoyed, so it's been fun to kind of see it kind of flourish, especially on Instagram. A lot of people have really enjoyed it, so that's been super fun. Just want to say thanks for everybody coming by. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know how to look at the chat. I see top chat. Here we go. There's a pop-out chat. Okay. All right. Well, here's the chat. Just put a welcome, guys. Welcome everyone. Okay, well, I see there's 3 people in here. I just want to say thanks for everybody stopping by. First live stream. I got a microphone and I got some headphones, and I've had this webcam for my computer for a minute now, and I decided why not do it, have it, and try it out. The next project I wanted to talk about, I guess I kind of started talking about it, was the Mangrove Bowl. The Mangrove Bowl has been a super fun one for me. The mangroves in general have grown a ton. Got them from Florida, from a really great lady. Sorry, I keep saying that. And she's been super nice to me. Gentle Balance is her eBay username. If you guys are looking for mangroves in general or anything, maybe she has other things in her nursery. I'm not sure. But she's been super great, helped me out a ton, sent me a bunch of them. And these were actually ones that I originally got at the beginning of the year. And they've done really well in freshwater, kept them in a pitcher of fresh water for a long period of time. They were in a vase, and they did well, and nothing went wrong with them. And then I got them here down in California after I moved down from Seattle, and I decided to kind of do something with them, and I wanted to give them some substrate. And so I gave them the Carib Sea sand, just a simple sand, nothing too crazy, and they've seemed to really like it. I actually was playing around with them the other day. I was pulling on them, checking the roots, and they're kind of starting to ingrain into the sand and not really go anywhere. Before, at the beginning, where if you would touch them a little bit, they'd kind of move back and forth and sway. But now they are really ingrained into the sand. They've kind of grown in really well. So that's a super exciting thing and really good to see. I was a little worried at first that I wasn't going to get enough sunlight. You can see I have this sunny light, even with the shade down, shows a bunch of sunlight through, but it's working really great for these mangroves. They like it a lot. I know a bunch of people have kind of talked about it. If you can't give them direct sunlight for a really good photo period, then they're not going to do well. These have done super good, and they're just hanging out right in the window. So you guys can do it too. Anyone can kind of make one of these. They're super simple. I've talked to a bunch of people on Instagram about it. Some people have messaged me asking, how can I build one of these? I really want to do this. Is this hard? Is it complicated? And it's really not. Super simple. I had these mangroves for a long period of time. They moved down with me. I was able to get them in a bowl, and they're super simple. I mean, I'm not adding anything. I'm not changing the water. There's these little things called Ecospheres that Brookstone and like other smart shops kind of sell, and they sell these little pods that are like self-enclosed glass pods that have the Ophiuchus shrimp, the same shrimp that I have in the Mangrove Bowl. And they have like a little piece of like Gorgonian skeleton usually sometimes, or like some like sea lettuce, or maybe something random that they put in there with a little bit of gravel and substrate. And those shrimp do super good. They do great for a long period of time. I had one when I was a little kid that lasted forever. And I know people, some of these shrimp live to be about 15, 20 years old, which is kind of crazy. So really cool that I got them from eBay for a really good price. Another eBay buy that I got. I think eBay is a great place to buy, like simple little things, little project things. I found a lot of really great deals for, doing these projects, the mangroves, the shrimp, all kinds of different things. But as I've said before, it's sitting in brackish water. The brackish water is really good for the Ophiuchus because they really like the brackish, because that's what they tend to want to breed in. And so that's kind of what I'm shooting for and hoping to have is them proliferate. So we'll see, but just wanted to say thanks. Hope everybody's enjoying the live. I'm going to be completely honest. There's a live chat. I don't know if anyone said anything in the chat yet. Be completely honest. If they have, I'm sorry I missed it because I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but hello and welcome. I don't know how long I'm going to go. I'll probably go, 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes if more people chime in and kind of hang out, chat. But just wanted to get in here and give you guys all an update of what's going on in the office and try out this live stream thing. I might go not go super long just because it's my first one, get a little bit more hype for the next one when I get it going. But it's been super cool to kind of try it out. I've also been having a blast when it comes to just this channel in general. You guys have been awesome. Everyone that has been, tuning in, hanging out and checking out all the videos. You guys have been great. And just, it's been super fun. You guys have been a lot of help, making this hobby even more exciting than it already is. And especially after the old, what's going on Northwest, fish keeping. Hope you're doing well. And all the projects are going good. You're moving tanks. I'm pretty sure setting new tanks up, getting ready for moving. Hope that's all going well. But the move was really tough. We lost a bunch of stuff we've talked about before. I have videos on my channel you guys can check out and watch, but I lost a bunch of my livestock. We've kind of had to restart, but it's been really good for me. It's a good way for me to try out new things with the lagoon and try out new projects. And, I don't think I would have ever had the purple reef lobster if I wouldn't have, kind of gone through all that. Then I wouldn't have gone out seeking more fish and, things in general, and then found that randomly and decided to add it into the macroalgae tank. So, everything happens for a reason. A lot of people talk about that, all these things, everything happens for a reason. I think that's true, especially in this hobby. I will say there's some bad news. I have it sitting right down here below me. I have the two clownfish. I have a Spotcinctus clownfish pair. One of my clowns, the male or female. So I think what happened was, this is the backstory to it. So as I mentioned before, I moved down here to California. And when these two clownfish moved over to the holding tank, I think what happened is that they split the two sides of the holding tank. One lived in the anemone, and then another one lived in one of the toadstools that was being held that's up here, or that's with me now. And I think they separated for too long of a period, and they ended up splitting away from their own pair. And due to the fact that they split from their pair, they started to fight more. And I noticed that I believe the female had picked up Popeye, and it was a really bad case of Popeye where her eye was really blown out and she was like really lethargic and wasn't moving much. And so I really focused on trying to keep the water quality good and feeding her well. And I was able to kind of heal her back, and her Popeye went down. So I was really excited about that. And then the other day, the clownfish disappeared, and so I was kind of looking around the tank. I could not find her, and I was like, I think she may have died, and she's gone. But she ended up being behind a rock, and it looked like two things to me when I first saw it. I was like, well, maybe they're back together, and maybe she's like preparing to lay, or two, they're fighting again, and she's hiding because she just got, really beat up. And it was definitely the latter, and she is torn up. And so her fins were all beat up. She's got massive Popeye in the same eye. It's all swollen up and beat up, like she looked like she got an actual fist fight. There's like really bad swelling. It's red, black, and blue, basically, in essence. And so I have her in a bucket, in a 5-gallon bucket, and doing Melofix and doing other things to help her out with all the, torn up fins, and hopefully with the Popeye, and hopefully we can heal her back up. But I don't think she's going to go back in the lagoon. I don't think. We can try. If she is able to make it, then we'll try and put her in maybe in a critter keeper or something like that, a box, acclimation box, and try it out. But for now, who knows? The clown is hanging out in a bucket, living in a bucket for the time period. It's got a sponge filter and all that, and I'm changing the water, but I'm going through a Melofix, so won't be changing the water anytime soon. But I'm doing a really low dosage. But yeah, so that's currently what's been going on in the office. The lagoon's looking pretty good. A lot of the Gorgonians I got from GCE did not make it. I don't know. Some Gorgonians don't really do well, I guess, in transfer, and sometimes in tanks after they're snipped off, and mounted. Talked to a bunch of people on Instagram. So there's a couple more that I'm thinking about looking for and grabbing, but still have that middle rock in the lagoon that I'm looking at, finding something that's going to be really great for it. I think it'd be cool to add maybe a bird's nest colony or something like that. We don't know. Maybe a sponge, a really cool sponge. I'm not sure. We'll see. But thanks again, guys, for tuning in. There's been a couple people here that came by, wanted to do this and try it out, see how it goes. This is kind of just a test run. Not many people tuned in this time, and that's totally fine by me. I just wanted to try it out, see how it goes, see if I can figure it out, see if I can get this microphone working, the headset, all that good stuff. And it seems like it's working. I don't know. From your guys' end, I haven't heard from anyone. There's a couple people in the chat, but from your guys' end, I don't know how it is, if it's good or bad audio-wise. But yeah, let me know if it's any good. But I'm going to stay on here maybe for another minute or two, and then I'm going to hop off. As for future projects, not entirely sure. I do have the wall space directly across from my desk that I'm looking at right here, looking at my desktop. I have a wall space that's really open that I think would be really cool to add, maybe a frag tank or a bigger fish-only tank, but not entirely sure. I want to hear from all of you guys, what you guys think I should grab. And been asking a bunch of people on Instagram too what I think I should have, but not sure. I think a fish-only tank would be really cool, but the problem with the fish-only is that you need a really, really big system. You want to have a super, super big system so that way you can have all the fish you want it to have. But the frag tank, that way I could kind of have spillover coral and maybe start trying to sell a little bit of coral out of my house, do stuff like that. But I just want to say thanks again, guys, for stopping by. I know not a ton of people tuned in, but thanks so much for hanging out, checking out this little live stream. It was really short. I know not a bunch of people were here, but thank you guys so much. Thanks again for subscribing to the channel. If you guys are new, I want to say thank you guys for stopping by. But if you guys haven't done so, please be sure to like, subscribe, and join the King Tide Corals family. And also, I just made this t-shirt with one of my designs with Pixel Reef. She made the design, but it was my concept. And so we kind of like teamed up and made this design, and I've made some t-shirts for it, and wanted to hear your guys' feedback on the t-shirt and see what you guys thought. But, a little ode to the mushrooms, and also the cherub angel, who's now living happily up in a house up in Seattle. So good things for that. Absolutely. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate you guys stopping by, tuning in, and checking out this video or this live stream. But we'll definitely kind of hype up and get set the next live stream a little bit better. That way we can maybe have a little bit more people in here and get the chat going a little bit more. It'll be a lot more fun. But this time around it was really cool to try it out and see if it worked. But thanks again, guys. And until next time, happy reefing.